Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is Michigan Farms map. This map is a Michigan, USA style farming map. The map looks like this. On New Farmer, we do start with all of these fields down here. 23, 38, 37, 35 and 36. 36 has got the main farm area on. As you can see, we do have a sleep trigger down here as well. We'll talk about slot count stuff in a moment because all of the equipment is down here. There are 4 farms. This farm, there's one over here, one here and one up here as well. I'm going to have to put some money in so we can buy those. I mean, to be fair, we don't need to because there's no triggers or anything there. It just gives you access to open the sheds and buildings. But field prices, as we look around the map, are pretty good, I have to say. 198 grand, 252, big one like field 16 there, 541. Not crazy expensive considering the size of the fields. It's a big open style map. We've got a lot of drainage ditches, some really nice features on here. There's a couple of things that have got me, well, no, there's a quandary, but I think I may have solved that quandary. Up at a lot of the sell points, we can buy the plots of land so you can put placeables on, but there are a couple around, like this one down here, for example, that we can't purchase, which is quite frustrating because it's a massive expanse here, which would be brilliant for production chains, placeable things, but unfortunately you can't buy it, but it is what it is. And there's a load of forested areas as we go around the map. There are collectibles. Some will require creativity to reach. That's going to be an interesting thing to deal with. We do also have an extra crop type. We do have alfalfa on the map. Now, alfalfa, if you're unaware, if you haven't played on a map with alfalfa before, alfalfa is a grass. You seed it with a seeder and it goes in just like a grass. You then mow it just like a grass. You can ted it and then you can bale it if you want to. So you will have alfalfa grass bales, alfalfa hay bales, and on this map it has been included into the animal pens, some animals that do require it. If we go into build mode, go to animals, for example, under cows, if we look across to the right, you've got alfalfa hay as a bale there. The only thing I will say is you're better off baling because loose, if we go into this menu and down to forage wagons, for example, if you have it loose, the forage wagons aren't set up to pick it up. They will do regular grass, regular hay, but not alfalfa grass or hay. So baling is probably the way to go with it, I would suggest. It does also say further down, American flag net wrap for round bales. I'm going to put a picture up now. I found that with the hay bales, alfalfa hay bales, I got the American net wrap. On regular grass bales, I didn't. And on the regular alfalfa bales I didn't, but I'm going to put a picture up now just to show you the various different stages of alfalfa and in various different baled and wrapped states. So that's alfalfa covered, I think. Over here we've got our sleep trigger around the side. On one of the porch verandas we've got the wardrobe trigger. We've got a pickup just there, and then we've got a lot of our buildings which have got all of our equipment in. You do start with a fair bit of stuff and big stuff as well. I think we start with 4 John Deere tractors and some big beasties as well. So we've got our Mack truck and trailer, fertilizer and lime spreader, seeder, header, planter. Slot count on New Farmer is 1,271. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch is 1,001. You don't start with any of the equipment or the sleep trigger, but you do start with all the buildings on all the farm sites. So if you wanted to get rid of them, you need to buy the farm sites, then you can sell all the buildings. So for example, if I go into landscaping and demolish, I can get rid of these sheds if I want to because we own this plot of land at the start. So as far as start equipment goes then, we start with a John Deere 7810, a John Deere 9570RX, a 9570R, an 8RX 410. We've got the Mack we've just seen, the Harvard, we'll see all these in a minute, the Axle Flow 9250. We do start with the Roper Panther 2 with its header, the pickup we've seen, and the trailer we've seen. The planter and seeder we've just seen. We do start with a disc harrow and a cultivator, but not a plough, interestingly. Header for the beet harvester and the 2 headers for the regular harvester. Then we've got sprayer technology, front tank and rear sprayer. from Hardy, and the fertiliser spreader. Oh, that's just fertiliser, not fertiliser, and lime. So a fair bit of gear. If we go across to this building here. Oh, I've just realised what I haven't got on. Hang on. And the map. There we go. Turn on shed lights. So there's our 8RX, our smaller John Deere with the spraying gear. Like I say, we got some big gear going on here. It's amazing. If we come out of here, over to this side, we do have, under our pickups as well, we've got the little John Deere and the roper, and we've also got the workshop trigger. Have I not put the workshop triggers on? I'll turn that off, not on. There we go. And a workshop trigger in here as well. I think each of the farms you come to will have a building like this that does have a workshop trigger as well. So, what we're going to do is look at what's given to us under build mode as far as mods go. There are no modded vehicles given to us. Alfalfa we've said about, collectibles I've mentioned, American flag wrap I've mentioned. If we go into build mode and we go to sheds, all the American sheds here that are on the map we do have access to put more in, or if you take some out, make a mistake, want to put someone somewhere else, you absolutely can. We've then also got under, what was it under? Productions. When we get along to the sugar beet factory, we got this, the sugar beet piler. Now I think it's better off, I may have realised where I've made a mistake, although yeah, it wasn't that obvious. But so we've got sugar beet piler for 15 grand. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But as you can see, we've got the end chute, which is, yeah, I think where I've gone wrong. So that's available as a production chain. That takes your sugar beet, and it then takes the dirt out of it. The dirt can then be taken back to a field and put in the field. But again, we'll talk about that later on. And then we've got under, I think that's pretty much all of it until we get to landscaping. And then under plants, we go this way. We've got a load put in. Various different bushes, various different plants. And then we've got shorter grass, medium grass, or like meadow grass, and then dry grass, because I think as standard we start with a fully grown meadow grass. So we've got a whole load of different grass textures and plants and stuff thrown in the mix as well. Very cool. So we're going to head on the road. And now I'm thinking, because I've got a little clip, or a couple of little clips I'm going to show you about a couple of things that are on here, and I'm now just racking my brains thinking but it's not glaringly obvious. It'll make more sense in a moment. So heading west along the southern part of the map, it's for the most part flat. There are some hilly areas. There's a bit we're going to get to in a little while as well, which is odd, I suppose. Odd, funny, different, I suppose. Get away scales in and out. And here we've got some more of the sugar beet pilers. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying the clip you're about to see, it may seem a bit odd. If you come here normally, these three sugar beet pilers are just a sell point. You can drive on here, sugar beet onto there, it will come up and you can sell your sugar beet. No problem at all. If I come to here and click on that and buy it, I've now purchased that as a factory. So when I put my sugar beet in, it will run through really quickly. 10,000 in, 10,000 out, 36,000 cycles per month, and it will honk through it. But it gives you this tear dirt. And the dirt, like I said a minute ago, that can be taken away from this chute over here. And then that dirt can be spread on a field. And then with a cultivator plough or whatever, that can be ploughed back in. So it's a bit more immersive. I'm going to cut to a clip of that. Actually, I'm going to cut to the sugar beet clip in just a moment, and I think I cut within that to the tear dirt. But where I've got the problem is I tested it all here. You'll see it as we show the clip. The sugar beet goes off and into here, which I assume was like just a storage silo. So then what you would do is come and collect your sugar beet and your dirt from here. However, it just seemed to vanish. I don't know if it was in a heap here underneath this, hidden underneath here. Because the one you can buy separately, it looks like you would put a trailer or something underneath this chute. But obviously here it doesn't really give that intimation. So that could be where I went wrong on it, potentially. That you need to put something underneath this to catch the sugar beet, and all you're doing with that production is taking the dirt out. But realistically, it adds some immersion, but you can't do anything else with the dirt. I'm going to cut to the clips now, and hopefully it will make a little bit more sense. The sugar beet piler then, in a bit more detail, once purchased, and these cost 15,000, MrSealyp's probably already told you that, it then becomes manageable, so to speak. So you've got sugar beet tear dirt. So in comes your sugar beet. It stores the exact same, so it's 10,000 to 10,000. This thing processes so fast, 36,000 cycles per month as well. It's almost like a storage facility, to be fair. But what it will do is, as the sugar beet goes in, it will process it, and all the dirt comes off of it. Now, it doesn't then give you a different kind of sugar beet to sell. If it was sugar beet cleaned or something, that would be quite cool, but it doesn't. I'm just saying that. But the tear dirt comes out. The tear dirt can then be taken out to a field, put down on the ground, and then if you go over it with any kind of implement like a plough, cultivator, something like that, the dirt goes back into the ground. So it just gives you a bit more of an immersive kind of feel to it. I'm going to cut to showing you that now. So that's the tear dirt being put back into the ground. So what we're going to do now, that's already set to run. I'm going to dump a full load. Like I say, this will go pretty quick. So we've got 59,400 litres. You'll see the belt running. And it runs right the way along and right there off the top onto the pile, which is your storage. So that's all running now. If we go back to our menu here, you'll see sugar beets piling in, and it's taking the dirt out of it. I mean, other than the immersive feel to it, there's not really much else to it. That's kind of what I'm kind of working on, because I was looking down here, you've got sugar beet cut. There's not another one like clean sugar beet. I just thought that would be kind of more of a, I don't know, a bit more immersive maybe. Then we come to start filling. Now interestingly, that didn't give me the option to take sugar beet out. Now obviously when you've just seen me take this, I can take this off to a field, I can dump it somewhere. You can't sell this, there's no price for it or anything like that. And if you use the other ones without having purchased them, they're just a sell point. So my question now is, how do I get that out? Did that sugar beet sell? It's not showing any sugar beet there. I'm going to say this now, the sugar beet piler doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it doesn't seem to work in that. I'll read out what it says. Custom sugar beet piler factory for added realism with sugar beet harvesting. When owned by a player, the piler will give you tear dirt. Take tear dirt back to field and dump. Dirt piles can be levelled and will disappear when using any field working equipment, which I've already shown you. If not owned by player, it will act as a normal sell point without tear dirt. So the tear dirt you can't sell, you take it back to the field, you put it in the ground, add some realism. However, I've now put 3 or 4 loads of sugar beet in here to test it. If I come back to my manage point here, incoming materials where it says sugar beet, that just seems to be for the conveyor belt. And yes, whilst I'm getting tear dirt out, one, I'm not being paid for my sugar beet now because I own it, and all the sugar beet I put through this has gone. It's vanished. I bought the sugar mill. I thought maybe it's automatically sent it to the sugar mill. It's not. We don't own a silo at the start, so it's not gone there. I thought maybe we'll check our stuff up here. If we go down to sugar beet, there's nothing in storage here because there's nowhere to store it. So That doesn't make any sense. I thought it would act like a silo. And if you went to the pipe here, you could either take the dirt out or your sugar beet back out, so you've separated the two. In essence, you're just throwing away sugar beet to get a substance you can't do anything with other than plough back into a field. That doesn't make any sense. Unless I'm missing something glaringly obvious. I've been around the back of the piles, there's not a chute for collecting your sugar beet, and according to that, it's just not stored anywhere. It's gone. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's a factory. It says building storage, but it's not storing it, and I can't get it back out. So I would say great sell points. But I'm assuming this is going to get another update. I can't fathom that. But anyway, back to MrSealyp. It didn't, did it? But yeah, I think that's probably where it's gone awry. I think maybe. Sugar mill is just over there, which can be purchased for all your sugary goodness, or not. Shouldn't have too much sugar. Continuing on from here, we're going to whiz up. I need to actually, I'm just thinking I need to put some money in. Oh no, I said I wasn't going to buy those. That's alright. I wasn't going to buy those plots. It was just so you had access to the sheds and garages. Round here, we've got the grain silo south. This is a sell point. Big facility. There you go. We've got a couple of collectibles here. I think they're 1,000. Yep. So that's your silo south. I haven't come across a lime station. Just thinking as I was going around the map, I haven't come across one. Apparently this is also 69 trees under the tree limit for the map. So they've gone as many as you possibly can. Left you a little bit of leeway, so if you want to do a little bit of planting, but you're only going to get about 69 unless you cut a load more down. Oh, the other thing as well, soybean on rows. Is that soybean? Soybean is planted on rows rather than kind of en masse, and there's a few things that have been changed. Some crop textures have been altered to make them look a bit more realistic too. So if we cut through here and head out to the western farm, this is the bit I was talking about. That's a bit peculiar. It kind of, well, not that bit. It threw me a little bit. This mound here, you think, oh, that's cool. I wonder what's on top of there. And there are a couple of things on top of there, but we've got this. It's just a jump ramp. I mean, it's I don't know if it's a local airport. They just use that to get the aircraft off the ground a little bit easier because there's a house just beyond it. But anyway, there's a jump ramp if you want to do that. The farm to the west we're coming up on now, there are no silos on any of the farms, not even our start farm, so you'd have to put a silo on. And like I say, once you've purchased the land, you can do what you like with it. You can sell the buildings, you can access the buildings. Until it's purchased, you can't open any of the shed doors. But the sheds are all here. Workshop triggering that one, which will be accessible once purchased. From here, we're going to go across the map heading east to the central farm. Wow, traffic's fast. It's rapid brov. Whoa. A lot more buildings on the second farm. But I like all the ditches and stuff. You've got various different access points, bridges in various different locations where you've got water as well. Up one of these, where is it? We've got some roadworks of a ditch dug, and it's just another one of those things. You think if you're doing a storyline, it kind of adds a little bit in. You can do something with it. There's a couple of these ditches between fields where you've got almost like a ford crossing over. I think that's in the middle of this field over here. We'll whiz up and have a quick look at that. Then we'll head out to the eastern farm. So here's the roadwork area. That's pretty cool. Pipes burst, water in the bottom. On the collectible there. Is it in the middle of this field? Maybe not. Maybe I dreamt it. Will be the first time. So, we're going to continue east. Oh no, it's down there. You can just see the dip in the ground just off to the north. So there's another drainage ditch, but there's a sort of lowered section so you can go between the two fields. Something to explore. Big old fields as well. Like I say, the prices are really good considering the size of the fields. Eastern Farm, just there. Again, needs to be purchased. There are no animals on the map as standard. It gives you scope to put them wherever you want then. You're not kind of fixed in place with this. Loads of buildings available, and again, once the land's purchased, you can sell the buildings or add to them, whatever you want to do. Biogas plant, just here. Now the biogas plant is 1.6 million, just over 1.6 million. If you buy it as it is, which means you're buying the biogas plant and you're buying the land. If I go onto the map and we buy the land first, so we've gone from the main farm out there to the sugar beet area and the sugar mill, grain silo south, the jump ramp just there, Western Farm, Central Farm, went up to a little bit of roadworks there, Eastern Farm, we're now here. So if I buy that plot of land for 122 grand, then buy the biogas plant, that price of the land comes off. So at the moment it's saying 1622. If I buy the land first, then come back later on to buy the biogas plant, the biogas plant is 1.5 million. So you can either buy it all in one go or as separate entities. If you bought it as separate entities, you could put other placeables on the ground too if you wanted to at that point, and then come back and do the biogas plant later on if you wanted to. Or buy the plot of land and put a smaller biogas plant on it if you wanted to. Hey, the world's your oyster. Do what you want to do. Continuing on. To the left of the building there, you've got the animal dealer sell point, and then you've got the animal dealer point just there. On our right hand side coming up, we've got the dairy. Now like I said, some of these plots are available to buy, so you can add to them. Other ones aren't. If we go back to the map and come up to here, you'll see this whole area here isn't. So with the animal dealer and this big silo, it's not. But these ones that have got some of the small ones are. Then as you come over here, none of this bit is either. So some bits are, some bits aren't. We've got grain silo north. So the other one we went to, so that's the sell point there, grain silo north. We've got a spinnery just there. Where was carpentry? I don't want to miss it. I think that's back up the top. We spin back round again. Come up to the top. We've got, oh yeah, up on this road. We've got carpentry and then the sawmill. So carpentry's just here. Sawmill's just there. We do have a river running along the northern part of the map with the railway line as well. The railway line does go to Frankenmuth. Come out of there. We have got cereal factory. That's the right order. Please tell me it was cereal factory first. There we go. We've got cereal factory. We come across the grass here. We've got the restaurant. We've got the pizzeria just over there. And then that side was the tailors. Then we got red marble bowling. Next we got the Michigan grain mill. Just there. Michigan Farmers Market. Did I miss the fast food restaurant? What was that? Hang on. Oh no, it's at the back. Gas station. Michigan Farmers Market, gas station. We've got fast food restaurant, diner, up at the back there. I mean, everything's been put on here. It's all here. As we go through the gas station, we've got a water point just here, where you can purchase your water. I think you can purchase your water from here. But there is a sign here, look. Due to water crisis, prices are inflated. $3.03 per gallon. What's that? 4 litres-ish, something like that. We've got the... Hang on, let's get this right around. Behind, we've got the bakery. I know it's a bit all over the place. It's kind of some of them are on one road and some of them are on the other. So it's just getting all bakeries there. As you can see from the map, it's all across the top here. So we're currently there. Bakery, next door fast food restaurant, gas station, and Michigan Farmers Market. So we're going to cross over this part of the river here to the vehicle shop, vehicle store. Back of the building is your vehicle workshop. Front of the building is your purchase point, unless you're doing it from your main sort of tablet, so to speak. This is the reset point as well, so if you need to reset any vehicles, they will reset back here. Coming back out and across here, we've got the oil mill, we've got our grape processing unit, we've got biogas, no not biogas, biomass heating plants, and then we have grocery marts just here. Let's swing around. And up to here we come to Grain Pool East. So Grain Pool East is a transfer silo. This transfers onto the railway line. So you've got your on and off of the railway line here. Putting into the silo, taking out of the silo is done there. You can transfer from the silo onto the train, or I mean you could go from the train to the silo, but the train track literally just runs across the top of the map, right the way across there. Rent train point is just here. Did I click on that? I must have done. And this will do, I don't always say regular things, main crop types, sugar beet, there's a couple of extra potatoes as well. It doesn't do everything. It's not a multi-crop train, but it does the things that the railroad silos, generally speaking, do. And then the river to the north. Just checking down this list, I'm convinced, I've convinced myself I've missed something. Precision farming custom soil map has been added. So lighting upgrades, no, I think I've pretty much covered everything. If we go back to the map, so we come right the way across the top here. We're now up here. Like I said, that goes off to Frankenmuth. And that's it. That's the map. Michigan's Farms map. Did I even say who it was by? I didn't at the start, did I? This is by Taylor Farms and Salty Shorty. 272.45 megabytes. I'll probably add that on the front when I come back to do the edit. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.